What is going on, everybody? How's your guys' day going? I hope your guys' day is going well. Look, don't stress, guys. I know things are looking kind of bloody in the market, but you know what? We're here to talk about fabulous things today. We're going to take your mind off the charts. We're going to get into a bunch of things in today's video. Before I do, if you guys would, let me do my little spiel like I always do, guys. My name is Tank. This is the IBC Gang YouTube channel. We talk about everything in the traditional markets as well as the crypto markets, specifically with the focus on our little love child that is the Cosmos ecosystem. You guys know that we love the Cosmos ecosystem, obviously IBC Gang, right? So if you guys would help us grow, because it is pretty hard. It's the bear market. Not a lot of people around, guys. Help us grow organically from the ground up with the community by liking this video, subscribing to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. And also, the more people that get exposure to these videos by you liking and subscribing, the more you're kind of helping yourself out, because the more exposure Cosmos ecosystem gets, the more exposure your holdings get. So it's kind of like, you know, you're scratching everybody's back. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do everybody a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, we have a guest on the show that I've been telling you guys, I'm going to bring on so much more of these special guests, these projects and these people building within our space, guys. We got Jerry with NOTs NFTs. Jerry, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Morning, Tank. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how are you feeling first and foremost about what's happening in the market, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, I believe in Cosmos, the tech behind it, the community behind it. And, you know, I'm not a flipper or a trader when it comes to tokens. So when I'm looking at Cosmos, I'm not looking, well, am I going to sell it a month from now or even a year from now? I'm building up a legacy for my family, for myself. And I'm looking, 5-10 years down the road. So, these bear markets, the fear is high, and they say, this is the best time to buy in. So, that's what I'm doing. I continue to dollar cost average in to build my stacks. I love Atom, Osmo, Juno, all the big ones that are coming to Cosmos, but I'm also getting into Bitsong and Stargaze and other tokens. And, it's bloody, it's ugly, but crypto is not like traditional stocks. It's a wave. It's a wave movement. You have your natural highs and lows. It's like a tide of the ocean. So you just got to roll with it. And once you understand that there's highs and lows, I think you take a lot of that fear out of it, and you understand it's a long game.
Yeah, it definitely is a long, that's one of the things that we preach here. I've been kind of a backstory of myself. I don't know if you've caught any of the other shows in the past, but I come from traditional investing. I've been an investor in all sense of the word. I have medical practice, fitness gyms. I've been in traditional markets. I'm in real estate. I have, investment properties and so on and so forth. I'm pretty much everywhere I can be. And one of the things that really attracted me in crypto is not only the tech, but, obviously I'd be lying to everybody if it wasn't the investment opportunity with the volatility being so high. It's a whole different beast. It's the same beast, but it is a whole different beast in the sense that, the patience level is multiplied tenfold. I mean, I'd be maybe even way more than tenfold, but it's multiplied by a lot. And so this is, to kind of go back to my point, this is definitely a long game. A lot of people get shook out. A lot of people will not make it. But if you are in good investments, if you're in good, assets or protocols that have a high probability of seeing themselves through the bear market, I mean, this is, like you said, the best time to be buying. It's not financial advice, but it's just, you can go back on any chart. Right now, we're looking at the Bitcoin chart on the daily. Of course, you guys know the deal here. If you guys have been on the channel for a long time, we're using Market Cipher as our primary oscillator indicator tool of choice. If you just zoom out, there's a reason why we say that in the game, right? If you just zoom out when in doubt, like, what is the chart telling you? Like, yeah, we're down a little bit, but ultimately we are up. If you go into the Dow Jones, you can clearly see this. We're just up and to the right, especially with traditional markets being not backed by anything, the dollar not being backed by anything. NASDAQ up and to the right, SPX up and to the right. We go through our shakeouts or resets or whatever they need to do to kind of justify their actions in the markets. But ultimately, we just go up and to the right. So this is just another really small piece of the timeline that you're going to be experiencing if you're in it for the long haul as an investor. So I really do agree with what you're saying. I myself that's been my whole mission, is, to create a situation for not just me, but for my kids and their kids and so forth down the line. So it's all about time in the market and being patient and obviously being in the right protocols. With that being said, I got so many rabbit holes I want to go down with you, because I think the NOTs NFT group, and what you guys have been doing and are doing is just so unique and so interesting, in our crypto market, not just the Cosmos space, but in our crypto market. So let me kind of pivot a little bit. So if you guys don't know, Jerry here, let me go ahead and share this with you guys. If you guys aren't following them, this is the NOTs NFT Twitter handle. Guys, go ahead and follow them here. And also, they also run validators. This is their separate validator Twitter handle. Do yourself a favor. Do everybody a favor. Like I said, follow them. It's all about community here in the Cosmos ecosystem. But they are obviously an NFT project. They started off as an NFT project. I should actually give the mic over to you. Jerry, tell us more about where your story started, how you got in, what made you get into wanting to do what you're doing, and how it's developed over time into what it is now.
Yeah, thank you, Tank. So I kind of had a good friendship with a few people within Twitter. You know, Twitter is kind of like the home base for communication of everything crypto. And I love Cosmos and especially Juno. And I had a few friends that also loved Juno. One in particular was Rusty. He's the co-founder of Knots with me now. Mm-hmm. And we both have been talking about, well, you know, we see that NFTs are coming to Cosmos. Wouldn't it be great if we could do a project called like the Juno Juggernaut or something, some special NFT just for Juno to kind of like help people with their pride and loyalty and the fan base to help people really appreciate being part of Juno. Mm-hmm. And he was all on board too. And the only problem was neither Rusty nor I had ever made NFTs before. And, you know, we're like, yeah, we want to do this project. We think that's great. So where do we go from here? And as it turns out, you know, it was just a grind. We had to learn to vet and interview different NFT engineers, mm-hmm. Coders, different artists that could make the art. We had to learn about marketing. But, you know, the great thing about cryptocurrency and especially Cosmos, because it's such a supportive and wonderful community, is that if you believe in it and you're willing to put in the work, you can make it happen and come true. So Rusty and I, we decided to start with one NFT and we discovered, hey, maybe we have a niche here. Maybe we can make IBC NFTs that represent Cosmos and, you know, and even give them some utility. So we decided to make it so that the NFTs you buy with us have staking commission discounts. As you know, when you stake with your validators, there is a small fee. That fee to help support the validators. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, the validators need to make some money for running the programs and securing Cosmos and you know, there's just a small fee with it. Usually it's 5%. 5% is the lowest fee you can get in the Cosmos IBCs. So we went looking for validators that went for the minimum 5, and then we said, let's see if we can take that lower. So with our staking commission discount, if you can own 1, 2, or 3 knots of each series, and it'll be either 7%, 15%, or up to 25% discount off of already the minimum staking commission.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I was trying to find it on your guys' website here to show everybody. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. It's wonderful. So these validators are cutting deep into, you know, already taking the minimum that you can take in Cosmos, and they're cutting deep into that to offer this great utility to our supporters. And both validators that we work with, Rhino Stake and Cosmos Spaces, and then we run a couple ourselves, they all believe, like we do, that staking is essential to the success of Cosmos. We are all stakers. We believe in staking. Staking is what gives Cosmos its security. It gives Cosmos its stability. And staking is what gives Cosmos its growth. So, you know, we're all about, you know, buying tokens and believing in the tokens, but we are stakers at heart. And we want to encourage people to not only own our really cool NFTs that have long-term value, but to use those NFTs to stake tokens to help Cosmos. And in return, we give that staking commission discount. It's paid out once a month directly to your wallet. If you stake with our not supported validator and own our NFT, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to put your name in a hat or register your NFTs, nothing. We
have got it so we can pull all that information. We can see all the NFT owners. We can see everybody who's staking on the validators. We pull all that information together, and we get those staking commission discounts out once a month. They go directly back in your wallet. So the more you stake and the more NOTs you own, up to 3 max, the more tokens you earn back into your wallet every month that you own those NFTs. It's really cool. And, this isn't a 1 month, 6 month, or even a 1 year thing. As long as you own those NFTs and as long as you stake, those NFTs are making you money every single month.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is, here on this show, we started this show, and I'm going to ask you the same thing here in a second, but I started this show because I'm in a position that, fortunately enough, I'm in a position to where I don't need to be, and I don't want to go down too much of this rabbit, but I don't need to be taking on allocations from teams. I don't need to be taking sponsors or anything like that. But what I wanted to do is to create a space here in Cosmos to where the people are looked after, and anything that I do as far as a project hero, and a creator on YouTube, is a benefit for them far more than it ever would be for me. And it's really, I know I can't speak for yourself, but when I look at projects like yourselves, it's so unique and it's so geared for the people to where you're not only helping advertise some of these other protocols, which I absolutely love. I think one of the biggest problems we have in, especially the Cosmos space, is that we do a really horrible job. I'm just going to tell it like it is. We do a horrible job at promoting all of these great protocols, these great projects that are in our space. And so, again, that was another reason why I took it upon myself to really just start this channel and just make awareness of what was happening or what I saw happening in the Cosmos ecosystem, and just be genuine about it and be as transparent as it possibly could be. But what you guys are doing is not only, you guys are not only promoting all these great protocols and, obviously running a successful business as a validator and an NFT project, but you guys are giving back to the people, which I love. I love anything that can somehow, some way come back to the people for them to benefit for holding or taking part of long term. And just the whole way that you guys have structured yourselves since launching and to now is just so fascinating to me. I've been really, I apologize. I've been meaning to reach out to you guys for forever because I absolutely love how you guys have developed and how you guys have done things. So I just got to give you guys kudos and commend you guys for the work that you guys are doing and are doing going forward. If you guys haven't been noticing, by the way, I've been here on Stargaze just minting away. I'm going to give you guys, Jerry doesn't even know this as well, but for everybody in chat right now, we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm just minting some more stars knots right now. I'm just minting them away.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Tank, I wanted to tell you, thank you for starting a YouTube channel, especially a live one, because you're right. We are in dire need of media sources that can help promote and educate and bring in new blood, new people, new awareness to the Cosmos ecosystem. So what you're doing is essential. We've been needing a YouTube channel dedicated especially daily, to what's going on in Cosmos. As you know, crypto, 1 hour in crypto is like a week, right? Something's always happening.
Do you see these gray hairs? These gray hairs weren't there last month. They age. Yeah. Crypto ages you really quickly.
It does. I took a little vacation with my family up to Gatlinburg in Tennessee.
Oh,
and I was
I'm from Tennessee. I'm nice. I'm actually from Tennessee. I live 20 minutes south of Nashville.
Awesome.
Little town called Franklin. Absolutely love Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Tennessee's beautiful state. I love the mountain areas. It's incredible. Good people. Mm-hmm. And I was away for only 3 days, but in that 3 day, and I'm thankful and lucky that I have a co-founder in Rusty, and him and I feed off each other. I am blessed because we work together so well. We complement each other's natural skills and abilities so well. So I gave him the keys to the house, basically, and put him in charge. But when you come back after 3 days of being taking a break with your family, it's like, whoa, what is happening? Like, you just want to jump right back into the pool and figure out what's going on, because crypto is it's amazing how quickly things change.
It moves really fast. And by the way, actually, I was talking to a couple of my mods and a couple of my really good friends that are in the Discord. And I actually figured out something yesterday, guys. So I just want to let you guys know, a little heads up. I can't prove this, but it's definitely happening. Anytime I go on vacation, guys, something bad happens. I'm not going to lie. If you guys don't know, so... And I'm a huge believer, and I wanted to go back to this in a second, but I'm a huge believer in Juno. I tell it, it's transparent as a possibility. I've actually bought more throughout last night's dump, this morning's dump, whatever it is. I'm buying a lot more. I'm a huge believer of it. But the whole thing that happened on March 10th, I think it was actually March 10th with CCN, is exactly when I went on vacation down with my family to Orlando. So another thing that I noticed is last 2 weeks ago when I went down to a conference, medical conference for, like I said, I'm in a lot of different things with my wife down in Florida with the Ritz. Again, that's what happened with the UST Terra death spiral. So I'm going on vacation here next week. I'm giving you guys a heads up right now. Be on the lookout.
Oh boy.
Something bad might happen again, guys. Things happen in 3. So I might be the jinx. I don't know. But whenever I go on vacation, I feel like things just happen. Yeah. And also leading into that is right around when the Fed is going to be releasing, their basis rate hikes. So just warning all of you IBC people, like, hey, I could maybe be the signal. I'm the shining light. Watch what happens with me. Anyway, to go into that, so my story is obviously, like I said, I'm a really big believer in Juno, and you guys started, correct me if I'm wrong, off with Juno, right? Like with the Juno knot. Is it because that you were, really bullish on Juno, or why did you pick Juno at first? What was up with that?
Absolutely, Tank. Just like you, we believe in Juno. The price now does not reflect at all where Juno is going to go or what it's capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Rusty and I had both been in Cosmos. We were both investors previously in the stock markets, traditional stocks, just like you. Coming over to, Cosmos, Atom brought us in because of its tech. And then when you dive deeper into Juno, when that came out, we were just blown away. Like, this is the smart contract hub of Atom. Now, Ethereum is a smart contract platform itself, and smart contracts are great because you can do so much business with the smart contracts. Mm-hmm. So when Juno launched as the smart contract hub of Atom, we were like, wow, that's awesome. Let's look deeper into it. And then we saw that Juno has a max cap, a max supply, versus Atom, which is inflationary. Atom has no max cap. Atom is great, by the way. I hold a ton of Atom.
Same here.
But
Same here.
we love Juno even more because there was a max supply. Because when you have a limited supply, there's only so much to go around. So we love that. We love the developers. That some of the best and brightest all around Cosmos went into Juno and are creating the protocols and the different coding that goes into Juno. We love that. We love that the developers are vesting for 12 years. Mm-hmm. My goodness, where else can you find such faith in a project that developers are willing to defer on their original allocation for 12 years, over a decade? Mm-hmm. That's like 100 years in crypto's time, isn't it? That's.
I'll have a long. What's the wizard from? I'm gonna hate myself for not realizing this because I'm such a dork and I love it. But from Lord of the Rings, Gandalf build. I'll have a long Gandalf build period by that time.
Yes, absolutely. And we loved that. The developers have always been up front and they did a really fair drop. I missed out on it actually.
Did you
but
really?
They did. Yeah, I did.
So you bought all of your Juno. You bought every one of your Junos.
Yes, nice. I've bought in and I've been staking and stacking it and building it. And so is Rusty. He's been doing the same. There's even if you missed out on it now, even now it's a better opportunity. It's down into the mid threes, I believe. Wow. What a deal. Yeah. I know, humans, we're funny creatures in that we see a low price and we think, oh no, it's going to be low forever. Oh, it's terrible. It'll never come up. And then when it's high, we think, oh, it's going to stay high forever. Oh, look at how great it is. And I think, if you can break out of that mentality and know, hey, it's low now, it's going to go high again, remember up in the 40s, it's going to hit up into the 40s again. It's going to go high again. It'll reach new highs and then it'll come back down again. It's wave. Cryptocurrency is wave currency. Mm-hmm. but I believe in it and I love it. And, I love that, it's a currency that reflects the values and the morals of what you want to support versus government fiat, in which the government uses your money and just dictates what they want to do, with that money, even if it's against your values and norms.
Oh no,
So
I entirely agree with everything that you're saying. And matter of fact, I'm shaking my head and kind of grinning and whatnot because I feel like almost daily I say these things, especially about Juno. I fortunately was able to get that airdrop, and it has been fantastic thus far. And like you said, I think the current price point definitely does not reflect and the actual value of Juno as an asset long term. It's really funny being in the game. I'm 41 years old. I'm pretty old compared to a lot of people. But I've been investing for 20 years, give or take now. And it's really funny how the vast majority of people, and I'm not calling out chat, I'm not calling out, but I will, I'm being very transparent. You guys know I don't pull my punches. The vast majority of people do not understand what it means to actually invest or to be an investor. The crypto space is littered with speculative, short-term flippers or hopeful traders. That's basically the best title I can give them. And what I consider to be a flipper or a trader is anybody that is in the game for less than a year, 2 years. I think that might not be the same definition for a lot of other people. But again, things happen really fast here. And 1 and 2 years, especially when you're talking about technology, is nothing when you're talking about the growth scale that it'll potentially see. Not all of them, but potentially a lot of them, especially like things like Juno, from my beliefs, could possibly see. And a lot of people aren't old enough to remember the tech boom that we had back when the internet, mobile phones and even TVs for that matter, really went through their adoption phase. Like there was a meme going around. I think it was, I don't remember the show. I don't remember. Maybe it was like USA Today, something of that matter. But it's used all the time where they were sitting there going, what is this @ symbol? What is this .com kind of, and I remember as a child, them clearly just, it's like saying it's FUD. They're fudding it. We didn't use the word FUD back then, but they were fudding it up and down, saying that this wasn't going to be, the next big thing, all this other things. And then now look at it. You can't do anything without using that tech or a bit of that tech. So to kind of round up before I go into too much of a rant, what you were saying, I absolutely agree. And I think Juno, I made a video suggesting to people back in December. I think that was when the drop happened. I was begging people basically in that video, not financial advice, to consider at least buying yourself some Juno or having some Atom stake so that you would be exposed to it back then. And even now, I am buying actively at these levels. It is such a steal for what value it's going to be bringing. And it is actually bringing into the space right now. I mean, look at what's happening. We have DAO, we have Juno Tools, we have all these partnerships with the Graft. What was the ones that just recently happened? Loop Finance, we have the WeFund. Like all of the perfect deals and maneuvers are actually happening right now through the bear market. And right now, I think the thing that people are doing wrong is they're just focusing on the dollar stamped value amount that's in front of their face instead of the potential upside that technology might bring. So just to kind of reiterate what you just said and the points that you brought up, I completely agree with you. I love Juno. And I think in 5 years, this is just going to be a small moment in time that people are, unfortunately, the ones that sold are going to remember forever. But the people that were buying actively throughout this next year, maybe, is going to remember for a lifetime. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Tank, Juno's greatest competitor was Luna, and unfortunately Luna sort of collapsed on itself. Mm-hmm. But for Juno, that was sort of a gift, right? Because we're getting all these incredible, talented devs coming over from the Terra ecosystem into Juno, and the amount of building going on is just incredible. So, you saw what happened with Terra, like how the growth that happened. Don't think of the mistake and the algorithmic stablecoin that created the collapse, but remember all that growth that happened. That's what Juno's going to go through. Yep. And we're very early on here. We're not even a year in. So
yeah, when do we have that inflation? I just had it up here
October.
actually. Is it October? Okay, yeah. I just
Yeah.
had the structure up here. And this is one of the things, I know we're talking a lot about Juno right now, and it's because that's where NOTs originally started with their NFTs. I think that's where we started from here. But just kind of to show you guys one more time, if you guys don't know, my humble opinion, the first 3 years or the first three phases of inflation that the Juno token has is the most important time for you to be stacking. Like as an investor, speaking as an investor, just for what I believe myself, not financial advice. Just when you look at it, phase one, which we're going through right now, is a fixed inflation of 40%. And then we drop down to 20 and then to 10. So it basically gets cut in half for the first 3 years. And so the first 3 years as a staker or somebody that's trying to compound with the higher annualized reward rate, that is the most important time for you to be making your moves, to be like, picking whether you're going to be in or where you're going to be out. And if you're out, I don't fault you. Different strokes, different folks. You got to do what you got to do, but you got to pick right now before this train flies by you, because 3 years is not very long. And by that time, think about how many projects is going to be launching on Juno, how many dApps, how many different, applications, how many different NFT projects like NOTs is going to be launching and utilizing the tech that's there for Juno. So again, you guys, please do your homework when you're looking at some of these and don't just get so focused on the right now. The right now, this is a great buy. This is a huge buy. This is the best buy that you could have ever got in the past. And if you've ever been bullish on Juno, unless something is changed entirely with your investing thesis or strategy, you should be, licking your lips and just drooling at the opportunities that's in front of you. I've always told you guys, you want to be the abuser in the relationship between your capital and your assets. You want to be the bad guy. This is the time when everybody else is crying, running around screaming. They're selling at a loss. It's unfortunate for them, but this is when you want to be smacking around the asset that you're trying to invest into with your capital. Again, guys, be the bad guy when it comes to investing. It's okay. That's the name of the game. You could be a Christian or a good guy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go there. I'm trying to stay off religion and politics and this stuff, but you can be a good guy is what I'm trying to say and still be the big bad wolf in the game of investing. You need to be the big bad wolf in the game of investing. But anyway, we're going to kind of pivot here. I think because we've given a lot of love to Juno right now. So you guys started with Juno and you guys had a lot of success. A lot of people picked up, especially at the time when you guys, when did you guys launch your first NFT?
Oh boy, it feels like forever ago, but I believe February.
So
when we did
it was a very different market structure, obviously, to what we're at right now. And you guys did really, really well. You guys, I remember watching. I was telling you before we went live, I feel horrible because I never, for whatever reason, I never can get there on launch dates or when mints happen and mint some of my favorite projects that I want to get. I remember coming back and I think it was maybe a chore or something my wife had me doing and trying to run back that day later, hours later going, can I mint something? Can I mint something? And I couldn't mint anything. And I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But
it was amazing. We, that was during Stargaze's we were one of the Genesis creators for Stargaze. I think there was 10 of us. And so for the Genesis creators, it was incentivized. So in order to get your stars for the star drop, people had to come in and actually buy an NFT. So we knew there would be some traffic, but we didn't know. I mean, this was the very beginning of NFTs and Cosmos through Stargaze. They were pretty much the only, besides Stash. But for the main Cosmos part, this was the only NFT marketplace. So we knew there was going to be traffic. We didn't know how much. And we did 800 Juno knots on Stargaze, and they sold out in 90 seconds. Wow. It was incredible. Wow. 90 seconds, 800 Juno knots sold out. I was just, we were blown away. We're forever thankful to the supporters of not just us, but to all NFT artists, because I'll tell you, when you support the artist, you're also supporting Cosmos. Just real quick to let you know, Cosmos or NOTs is a business, and we run it as a business, not just to support the community, but to support those who work with NOTs. So anytime we pay our artists, our devs, our coders, we have marketing. Anytime we pay for any like promos or anything, it's all paid in Atom.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is so cool. And we have people all over the world that work with us, and we pay in Atom. Atom is the preferred choice because there's an on ramp and off ramp through like Coinbase and other dexes. And I know Juno is going to be getting its own like on ramp and off ramps soon too, which is needed. But when you support NFT creators, you're supporting the Cosmos economy because you're paying people that use the Atom token and other tokens within Cosmos. So
yeah, you're definitely there's like the 8 degrees of Kevin Bacon where how you're supporting the Cosmos ecosystem when you actually buy your NFTs, especially on Stars. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I know we talk about Stargaze quite a bit, but was that secondary sales, or did you guys launch as well on OmniFlex, or was that just secondary sales that I saw?
Yeah, so we did 800 on Stargaze and then 200 on OmniFlix. We sold out in 90 seconds on Stargaze. By the way, you have a great memory. That's incredible. A lot of people.
It's amazing to me. I don't know how that.
But yeah, we had OmniFlix, and at the time, OmniFlix was very, very beta. So like you had to, when you went into OmniFlix, you had to like link your Twitter account to verify yourself, and then you had to actually deposit your tokens into Flix.
Yeah.
You could you would link to Kepler, and then you still had to deposit tokens. So it was not user intuitive, not user friendly. But still, we had people coming over from Stargaze into OmniFlix and buying up the rest of the Juno NOTs.
Well, I was one of them. I couldn't get it on Stars, and I immediately went, well, where else is it listed right now? So I tried to go there, and I still got hit with a brick wall. But, it was amazing to see, even through all of the hurdles. And again, OmniFlix, guys, they are building. They are still in development. They're working. They're a little different than Stars. I think a lot of people always try to compare the two platforms. They are both NFT marketplaces, but they do have little twists to them and a lot of things that separate themselves from each other. So again, if you're listening and everybody from OmniFlix, I'm definitely, I'm still bullish on you guys as well. I love what you guys are doing, especially on the creator side of things. But even with all the hurdles and things that people had to go through, because I remember going through that with OmniFlix, I was still wanting to go over those hurdles just so I can get my hands on, especially the Juno NOTs when they were being dropped. Now, obviously, we're looking at right now. Again, guys, I'm going to remind you guys, everybody in chat, share this. I don't know if you guys remember, share this tweet right here. I'm not telling you guys how you're exactly going to win, but you guys need to share this tweet right here. Let everybody know that we're talking to the NOTs team right now. If you guys want your chance to win one of these that I've just been minting slowly this whole time we've been talking, make sure that you guys let everybody know. But yeah, I remember wanting to get into that Juno NOTs, but now you guys have Osmosis, you guys have Stars, obviously, that we're going through right now. You guys actually, didn't you drop an OmniFlix as well?
We do. And like you said, we love OmniFlix. We know the founder, Sisla, incredible guy. Huge customer service oriented guy. Anytime we need anything from him, he's there. He's there for creators. He's there for the customers. And like you say, we believe in the long-term success of OmniFlix too. There's plenty of room for multiple marketplaces within Cosmos. So Stargaze is great. OmniFlix is great. We're even looking into Asset Mantle. They're looking at we had a creator chat, and they were saying potentially in July is when a Mantle Place is what they're calling it will open up. So there's a little bit of an alpha leak there. It's what they've dropped with us, but they're looking at July for Mantle Place. And then with OmniFlix, it's kind of quiet now, but they haven't dropped their token yet. We're waiting for the Flix token to drop. It's going to, I think they are going to kind of do the Stargaze thing where it's going to be incentivized to get people in there, to get traffic going, to get the circulation going. I think the Flix token will be the heartbeat of their marketplace. And we have an OmniNot series that is about 90% complete, and we will launch OmniNots on OmniFlix in honor of them to show our pride for OmniFlix and to encourage a fan base there. And we'll have staking utility for the Flix token of OmniFlix.
They're definitely doing it. They're definitely doing it a little differently than because I think they're more focused on like the creator side of things, and obviously making it easier for just, the average person? Like, I loved your guys' story, and we'll go back to that in just a second. How somebody that really doesn't know, maybe they're an artist, or maybe they're some kind of content creator, or they have something happening, where they have a community, they're trying to work on building a platform for those folks who maybe want to add something a little bit more to their platform or to their community or for their community. So again, just a little bit different, but they have been taking their time, and I don't think there's anything wrong with, the slow road, making sure that whatever you're building out actually is functional and reliable long term for people. So like, again, a big shout outs to OmniFlix as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to what they have in the works, and what they're planning on bringing to the Cosmos ecosystem as well. Let me pivot back again. I'm sorry, sometimes I'm a rambled mess, but I absolutely loved when you were first telling your story about how you were intrigued and got into this space. So you guys had absolutely no coding experience. You guys, nothing like that?
Correct. Yeah, we're just we tell people we're just a couple of Cosmos Joes that wanted to build a product within Cosmos. We wanted to, just like you do, Tank, build up awareness of Cosmos. And we felt like there wasn't a big fan base. There wasn't a lot of awareness or loyalty. So we're like, let's make a product. Let's do something where people can like feel pride and kind of show off the different Cosmos tokens. And we had started with Juno, with the Juno knot. But yes, you're right. We had no experience. And, Rusty and I, we had many very long talking sessions about how can we do this? How can we knock it out? And it's a process. It really is. When you're starting up an NFT company, you need to have experienced developers. You need to have competent artists. You need to have the marketing in place. When we first started, it was just Rusty and I. We were 100% social media marketing. You got to do a lot yourself. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I do the metadata. So I'm like the metadata guy. I do all the rarities and the naming and, the assignment of the different traits and rarities. And then Rusty, he's dedicated to the financial side and also to the commission staking discounts that go out once a month. He's a math whiz. So it works out well together. But yeah, we had to find a developer that really knew their stuff. So we brought in a developer who was working, because there was none, mind you. There was no developers making NFTs in Cosmos because there was no NFTs in Cosmos. We were on the bleeding edge of this. So
I'm sure it was, I don't want to put too much alpha out there. My community knows I'm trying to work on a project, and I think I've kind of leaked it to you guys as well. But I find it, and the reason, especially I'm very interested, obviously, personally myself, is I find it very hard to find developers that are have the time in the Cosmos ecosystem and the skill set, to devote to newer projects or newer people entering the space. So I find your experience really, really interesting, and I'm really loving the fact that you're willing to share it and what that all entailed, because there's so few and far between, I feel like, when it comes to finding trustworthy and talented developers, which there's many, but that are willing and can share your vision and bring your vision into fruition or into the space.
Thank you. And when we finally found a developer we thought we could work with, he's a great guy. And to this day, I'm going to brag and say I think he is the best NFT developer in all of Cosmos. He's just incredible. But we actually brought him on, and Rusty and I, to run this thing, we just started taking on debt. We're like, we're going to pay you every week. You're going to be on staff with us, and we're just going to, so the first couple months, we were just paying him to learn Cosmos, learn about IBC, learn about Tendermint, so he had to do his homework, and there was we're building trust and everything, but we brought him in. His name is Lockmel. He's just an incredibly talented guy. He's now building bots in Cosmos, and he's working with other great NFT teams like the Monks, the Monks project. Jacob is the founder of Atlas DAO, and they're doing their Air Monks. Mm-hmm. He's helping them, and he's helping some other projects. But we're very blessed to have gotten such a great developer. I mean, you live and die by your developer. I mean, your art is essential. You need to find your niche within Cosmos. I think there's a lot of things, and this is just my opinion, but I think there's a lot of things that are overplayed, and you don't want to keep like the ape thing.
Yeah, astronauts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to kind of find your niche, and you got to build upon it. Once you find your niche, you can keep refining and building upon your art, but you got to have that developer behind you, that developer that knows what they're doing. Like with my guy, he can go to Omniflix, Asset Mantle, Stargaze. They all have their different coding requirements, their different inputs, and what needs to be done as an NFT engineer. And he's got it down. And in fact, we run something called the NSA, which is not supported artists, and we bring in independent artists, and we help them with advertising, we help them with building up their collection, and we help them with coding, so that they are independent. They own their own collection. We take a small 15% of what they sell, but otherwise it's all theirs. It's all their income on sales, and we get them launched in Cosmos. We get them coded. We help them get on whatever platform they want. And it's a really strong community. We have a great Discord. We have really, really talented NSA artists. And it's just another way that we can kind of give back to Cosmos, and that, it's not just about us, but we're all about helping the entire art community too.
So if you don't mind me asking, because I was looking into this. I have no coding experience either. Like, this is very intriguing to me. I don't know this. I'm just a content creator. I'm a really good investor. I can make a lot of money with my investments and over time and whatnot. But I have no idea when it comes to coding, and I'm not artistic at all. If you guys want stick figures, I mean, I think it's actually out though right now. Bad Kids. No, I'm not. But like Bad Kids is doing really well as well. But that would have been like my play. That's what you would have got with me. With your NSA program, I know you guys do, like you said, the coding and pretty much everything. But did you also say that you have artists that are willing to work with you guys as well and help bring, like, say I had an idea and I have, like, I'm a dummy in the mud. I don't know anything. But if I had the capital, could I literally turn to the NSA program and find just about every tool and every resource that I need there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would be up to you as to, selecting an artist that you feel comfortable with. But I think any of my NSA artists would be open to working with you. And then we also have a few different artists that work with us. Right now, with my art team, we're just incredibly busy, because we're building not just our next Knot series drops, but we're working on building the Mega Knot, so that's in development.
Right.
And then we're also doing a side fun series called Cosmo Cans, which is going to be like just a fun little side NFT project where we kind of make fun of ourselves. It's going to be like aliens popping out of garbage cans with like the token.
It sounds fun.
You got to make fun of yourself a little bit sometimes. So we got some different projects, but we do have artists available, and we have our NSA artists available. And not just that, like, if you, Tank, wanted to come in and like say, hey, this is my idea, could you maybe get me a sketch of what it could look like? We could do that. And I would just be happy to do that for you or for anybody, just to help out. Because again, it's not just about Knots or even the NSA. It's all about supporting each other in the community. If you're successful, that helps me to be successful. We want the entire NFT economy and community to grow.
Right.
So
Well, we actually, speaking of that, I actually had a great question from the chat here, and I'm sorry guys, I can't keep up with chat all the time, so if I'm missing some of your questions, I apologize. But Brian says here, are you worried about the NFT bubble being popped, or do you think that there is an NFT bubble right now? Actually, if you don't mind me, Brian, rewording that, what do you think about that?
No, I am not worried about it. From what I've learned, and mind you, we started this in late December, early January, was that, I didn't know how NFTs would go. I had never even owned an NFT before. So I was new to it. But from what I've seen and learned is people who buy NFTs, they love them and they're loyal to them. There's a lot of trading. And I've learned NFTs in themselves are like a currency. There's a value to NFTs just like a token. So I'm not. Now, could a project collapse upon itself? Sure. Could there be, some things that are just fall apart? Sure. It all comes down to the creator building their community, sustaining that community, keeping it going. But NFTs in themselves are a currency. And as a creator, I'm learning this too. Like I'm learning tricks, and I have discussions with Rusty and my mods, and also I get great feedback from the community about how can we preserve the value of the NFTs after they're minted, and we actually have a few things that we'll be working on for that. But no, NFTs are amazing, and they're a currency in themselves. People love them. I think there's a lot of ownership with them. So I'm not concerned about the entire like ecosystem of NFTs imploding. If anything, they're doing great. Like in this downturn, people are just miserable, like with the tokenomics of everything being down. But people are turning to NFTs because you can trade them. They have great looks about them. They make you feel good. Just minting it makes you feel good. Like the whole the bubblegum candy machine thing where you buy it, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. There's like a really good feeling to it. Like, oh, which one am I going to get? Am I going to get a really rare one? It's a lot of fun. So I think that the NFT economy in itself is going to persist and grow. And in fact, I'm seeing growth in these downturns. Now, that said, the price that you can charge for NFTs has gone down because people don't have, and you need to be aware of the economics of people who are buying your NFTs. So when we first started way back with Junonauts, we had a higher price point and we could mint less. Now we're finding that we have to have a lower price point and mint a few more to make up for the difference in sales because people just don't have the tokens available to buy. So you need to be aware of the market conditions, but creators are very smart. We generally all get along really well and collaborate and work together. But yeah, NFTs, it's it's not a meme. I think NFTs were kind of thought of as like how cryptocurrency was a few years ago. Like it's a meme, it's not going anywhere. It's a fad. It's gonna die out, and I don't feel that way at all now. It's
really funny. Not to cut you off, but I always love, and I think it's humorous when people obviously go back to it's always the same thing. What's the difference between me and just copy pasting your JPEG kind of thing? And I'm like, it's not the same. What's the difference from me going back and getting, Bo Jackson? I don't know how old you guys are, but like I said, I'm old. Bo Jackson, rookie card or something like that. And then me slapping it on top of my copy machine and copying it. That doesn't make it the same valuable thing that I'm holding in my hand as the card. Like it's not the same thing. I don't think people like, it's just, it's amusing to me when people go back to that and like, it's just a JPEG. I'm like, it's definitely not a JPEG.
No, you're right, and that's a very good example. Like anybody can copy a picture and throw it up there. That doesn't mean you own the picture. It doesn't mean you own the rights to it. It doesn't mean you own any of the value to it. All you're doing is taking a picture and throwing it up there. So NFTs, they're very unique. Any NFT that's made is unique upon itself. There's no others like that one. So it's there's a lot of value in it. But I can understand people who might have not bought an NFT before or new to it. They're wary of it, and that's okay. And everybody should always do their homework before, especially if you're considering it as an investment. I know in NOTs, we're looking for long-term value in that as long as you own the NFT, it's actually paying you money. Plus it has its own value to it. I would suggest if you were looking for NFTs for long-term value, look for that utility. Does the NFT have anything more to it than just a picture? Now, a picture is great, and it can have very long-term value if it's just a picture NFT, especially if you only mint a certain number of them. Like, we were talking before we started the program with the NOTs comic. We started the very first comic series in Cosmos, and they don't have the utility like NOTs, but what we're doing instead is we're doing a very low charge of only 111 stars, so it's like a few bucks in like American dollars, and we're only minting 60 of each strip.
And I missed it again.
Yeah, and it is popular because people love comics. They love to collect. There's going to be 30 strips to an issue. We're on issue 1, strip 3. And we're actually going to have special drops for people that own a certain number.
I was just going to say, knowing you guys, there's going to be some kind of back-end benefit of collecting these things. So
yes, we always look to give back. So, and I'm leaking alpha there. We haven't even put it out to the community yet, but there will be, you guys heard it we'll be dropping special drops. Like if you own 3 or 4 of the comic, you'll be getting special bonus comics that will not even be sold to the community. They're just going to be airdropped directly to those wallets. So
Nice.
they'll have their own value. But yeah, I mean, NFTs, you find your niche, you create a value, you do your market research, look at what they can sell for, be aware of the consumer and where the market is, and they can have their success. The Knots, it's called Knots Universe comic.
Hmm.
It's huge. I am so proud of my team, the writers, the storyboard, the art. It's all coming together, and I love that it represents Cosmos. We talk about things that happen in Cosmos.
Yeah.
We have different IBC not characters in there,
I
and
really like that fact that it gives it kind of like a lore. Like, it kind of like, I always go back. People are going to think I'm a boomer. I am, guys. Deep down inside, I might be like, not by definition a boomer, but I swear I feel like I'm a boomer. I love the fact I collected all kinds of comics, comic cards, comic books, comic everything back in the days. I loved it. And the reason why I loved it is because it lets you like emotionally invest into the things that you find intriguing and actually like obviously if we like the Cosmos ecosystem as investors, it could be for whatever, right? Like you're just trying to build a bag and build a capital or whatever. When you have something like a comic book, which I think is so cool, you are now, able to bring, and I'm using so many puns and examples here, but a lore to the Cosmos space, which is vast. It's so like you could go anywhere now with that theme and explore all kinds of different lore, even if it's not official lore. You could go down all kinds of little rabbit holes and have fun with this based on whatever asset you like. You like Juno, then you can pick up the Juno part of this. You like stars, you can see them intertwine and intermingle in and explore worlds in your mind, whether it be fantasy or not. I just think that's super, super cool. Really, really cool.
I'll go. I appreciate that, and I'll tell you, Rusty and I, we joke about being boomers in the crypto space too, because we're both over 40.
There you go.
We're both in our early 40s. We grew up on Voltron,
Yes.
Thundercat, GI Joe, those shows, and they inspired us as kids. And that's kind of like where you get the Knots theme, the space
I've always
theme.
wondered that because again, you guys are my people now. We're the same age. You guys are my people now. But like, yeah, when I looked at, when I first saw Knots, and maybe that's why I was so like drawn to it in our age range. When I looked at it, I went, man, this looks like, like 80s Voltron or like all those things that I grew up with the art style, like with just taking it back into the essence of like what I would envision a Juno not looking like, So I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you. Yeah. That's our group, and I think a lot of people missed out on it that are in their 30s and 20s because Voltron and Thundercats, we were sort of at the tail end of that.
Mm-hmm.
And for younger people, they really missed out on these really great classic tunes. I think they might be available on YouTube or Amazon. Check them out if you ever get a chance. They're amazing.
I bought them all for my kids. I have two sons that are, one just turned 6, the other one's going to turn 8 next month. And I think the cartoons now, the majority of them are garbage. And I like went out of my way to buy all the classic. I raised them on Thundercats, what was remember I'm going off a tangent here, but you remember it was an off brand of Thundercats, and they were like Silverhawks.
Yeah. Only a few seasons. I actually owned a few of the characters as a kid. I loved Silverhawks.
Loved it. But all those were the best. I made sure that they grew up watching that instead of what's on there now, because it's just it's recycled anyway. Everything that's happening now, it's kind of like the music scene is basically like, just samples of what worked in the past. So yeah, I think again, just to give you guys kudos again, I thought you guys with the artwork, with the theme and everything that how you guys were doing it, I thought you guys hit it out the park. And again, talking back into what you were talking about, the utility and the benefits of holding these NFTs, like the way you guys have structured yourselves and made it beneficial for long-term holders just to hold. I mean, that is in itself. I mean, I just, I'm going to give away some of these Stargaze guys. Again, if you guys want to know, all you guys got to do is retweet this. I'm going to keep putting it out there. If you guys haven't, and you guys don't have the funds to maybe buy some of these Star Knots guys, I'm going to be giving away. Let me see. What am I getting? How many did I get? I'll be giving away 6 of them. I'm going to keep a couple of them
Wow.
myself. I'm giving away
Thank
6
you
of
so
them.
much, Tank.
Yeah, I'm giving away 6 of them, guys. So all you need to hold, and correct me if I'm wrong, all you need to do is hold them like I'm holding them right now. And you're saying that I'll get like dividend or paid for it or reward?
Yes. So yeah, you just so if you get a star nut from Tank, and then you stake stars on Rhino Stake. Rhino Stake is a validator. They're in the active list. It looks like a little rhino symbol. You'll see them in there in the active list. So suppose you have like 2,000 stars, you can redelegate to Rhino. They're a very professional validator. They actually help build code in Cosmos. These guys are very pro, very awesome, and we're honored to work with them. But just by staking your stars with Rhino Stake and owning a star nut, you're going to save 7% on your staking commission discount every single month that you own that star nut.
So we're talking about the number 10 one right here, guys. I just don't want to make this. I'm correct, right? Do you see this, Jerry? We're talking about number 10 Rhino, or is it
Rhino Stake? It should be called. Yeah, it's Rhino, the red and white logo.
Yeah,
lettering.
It just says it right here is Rhino with a little.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be that. But yeah, we are so honored to work with these guys. And when we pick out our validators to partner with, we explain to them, listen, this isn't a 1-month deal. This isn't a one-time thing. This isn't a 1-year thing. Like, you need to be there to support the Cosmos community for as long as they hold those NFTs. So these NFTs, these star nuts, will put money. These will put stars back into your wallet directly every single month that you own the star nuts. And you stake stars with Rhino Stake. So it's a really great utility.
They look like a really good valid. I'm looking at their uptime. I'm looking at, how many other things they got. Juno, Odin, Nam, guys, compounder Nam. Yeah, guys. So if you guys have stars, you guys are staking your stars. Consider it, and especially if you guys win some of these NFTs, guys. All you guys got to do is retweet. And let everybody know that we're live right now, talking with Jerry from NOTs NFT. Let me go into again some of the things, that you guys have found in your journey to be one of the more, I don't want to say frustrating, but one of the more challenging things to overcome as a well, not, you guys aren't newer projects now, but when you were a newer project. I know you've talked about finding a developer and whatnot, but was there anything else?
Oh, Tank, so much.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
So everything. So I'm the metadata guy, right? And when we did Junonauts, I did some of it. But we learned after Junonauts how much people who own NFTs are into the rarity factor of each NFT. We thought like people would just make, because when Rusty and I started this out, and like we say, we love staking in Cosmos. We're all about that. Like, that's our thing, right? To stake in Cosmos and give back. We weren't thinking as much about like the utility of the rarity of the NFTs. So we got a lot of feedback. People are very honest with us about, wanting more rarity or better labeling of the rarities. And we took that feedback to grow upon it. But yeah, it's hard to find. It's because you got to come up with it on your own. There's no like, there's no standard to rarities. So you need to find a way to create a product that gives you the standard traits to the moderate rarities to the super rarities, and you have to number them, and it's all sequential, and you've got to calculate them properly so that they all drop according to the percentage that you say they're going to drop to. But rarities are huge. People love it. They look into the metadata. So when you buy an NFT, you can pull up the metadata behind it. Our developer has actually got a bot now where you can plug in your NFT, and it'll show you like a gauge if you have a super rare one or like a more common one.
What was that? That was I saw that.
The rarity gauge. It's really cool. And
let me see. I'm trying to find the Discord. I know you guys have it in the Discord. I should have pulled it up earlier. Let me see here, guys.
It should be under rarity in our channel. If you look in our channel under rarity. There's a bot there, and you can plug in your NFT, and it'll bring up how rare it is and the different rarities, and people love that. So before we launch, we just build a rarity card, which is kind of like a visual that shows you like all the amount of rarities. We have a ton. Like we have leg boards, power
Oh,
links. We
that's
have the
cool. That is so cool.
yeah, so you can see it all with the rarity gauge, and it's just another thing that we can give back to the community as far as value. Like you get your card, come into our Discord, use our rarity gauge, and check it out to see how rare or common your NFT is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was one big struggle learning about rarities, and then for all creators, finding the correct mint size and mint price. And to this day, we're still adjusting because crypto is always in movement. Crypto is like water; it's fluid.
Yeah, I feel
So
like that's always going to be a
yeah,
fluid thing, right? Like you have to. I always say it, even with investing, like you need to learn how to be fluid and not just stuck in your position. I mean, I know there's a lot of, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, there's a lot to staking and compounding and stuff like that. But there is also a lot to as well, being the ability to be able to move and to be able to react to the markets. Movement itself, that's very valuable to be able to do that, or at least know how to do that as a project and or investor.
yes, absolutely. You need to stay connected to the community, and you need to be aware of prices, and always take feedback. You can always, if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter or Discord and just complain about something, please do, because I learned from it. I had some guy he hit me up on Twitter, and he said, "I just don't like how Star Knots look," and I was like, "Thank you." Because not everybody's always going to like your art. Not everybody's going to say it's great, and you need that.
Yeah.
So I actually went into Twitter and I just chatted. I'm like, "Hey, what can I appreciate that, man. Let me know what you didn't like about Star Knots. What do you think I can do different?" And that you just need to be connected, and you need to take everything into consideration. So I love that. I love that, we are connected and close, that people can be open with us about things. So
I respect and I really like that you are able to have that kind of mindset. I know, not to pat myself on the back, but I feel like it's kind of one of those age things, maybe, where you learn how to be more patient and to accept constructive criticism. I hate the word influencer. Being someone on YouTube, I do not consider myself an influencer at all, guys. I maybe content creator. Like maybe. I'm just sharing the things that I find interesting, so I don't know how much I'm creating things. But like when you put yourself out there, whether you're a developer or project like Jerry, or whether you're like myself, and just putting out your opinions, you get attacked. I mean, you put yourself on. Everybody knows, right? You put yourself on the internet, you would be shocked of how much hateful things I would say that I get on a daily basis from people. But you got to take it in stride. You have to be able to take the criticisms, pull it in, munch on it a little bit. I like to call things food for thought, because everything is just thoughtful learning in my, in my looking back, everything is just a learning experience, whether they be negative in your opinion or not, everything you can learn from. And I really liked the fact that you are, someone of that mind, someone that is able to take constructive criticism and apply it to their project going forward. So love it.
yeah,
Love it.
I think it's something that comes with age too, and that you sort of grow into it. I know when I was in my 20s, I would have been a lot more upset than I am in my 40s.
Yeah.
But I look at it like this: even if I get negative feedback, they're taking time to let me know about an issue. That means they care. They
Yeah.
care about what I'm making. They care about what's going on. If they really didn't care about knots, they wouldn't have said anything at all. So I take
Mhm.
it in stride, and I'm like, hey, yeah, let me know what's going on. And sometimes people might just give feedback because they're frustrated for factors that aren't even affecting you, and that's okay too, because we all need to vent and have an outlet. So it can be tough sometimes, but I appreciate all feedback, good and bad. We get tons of good feedback too, and it's been a blessing. But yeah, you got to roll with it, and just I think number one is having open channels, staying connected to the community, being available to answer questions and to keep people updated.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree as well. There's times, actually, take it from my mama, what she used to always tell me all the time: kill them with kindness. Anytime I would get negative feedback or just something negative in general, you could tell they're just ranting to rant to you. And it's okay. Like, everybody needs a shoulder to rant on sometimes. And sometimes you're just the target of the day. Because you never know especially being on the internet or being a provider of whatever it is, a project lead or whatever it is that you're doing, you never know when your actions might set somebody off the deep end. So I respond all the time with "thank you, friend," or before, when there's somebody, your videos suck or whatever it is, I'd be like, thank you for at least watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your time to tell me how much I suck. I really do appreciate that. And sometimes it might frustrate them, but I'm being very honest. Like you said, it's still, you went out of the way to watch my video and and to reply. So like, it's got to be worth something, right? Like, hey, it is what it is, kind of thing. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Let's kind of go, if you don't mind me, I have just a couple more questions for you. Where do you see with the market structure that we're in right now, as far as a whole, like it could be all of crypto or specifically the Cosmos ecosystem? How do you see let me do that. Two questions, I guess, in one. How do you feel about the crypto landscape right now with our regulations and what we're facing across the board? And then my second question would be, how do you feel the Cosmos ecosystem is positioned within all of that?
Yeah, great questions. And I think it's questions that we all ask ourselves daily. And like you say, you need to be fluid with it. I think generally you're going to have thick skin if you want to stay in the crypto game. We're looking at a global recession, not just like I live in the United States, but we have supporters all over the world. But I thought you can just type in like recession or inflation in any country, and it's popping up in their daily news feeds too. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at a lot of issues. We're looking at supply issues, with shipping around the world, and it's creating inflation. And we're looking at slowdowns, and we're looking at recessions. And crypto hasn't really been in a recession yet, so this would be new. Crypto itself was built on a bull run, mm-hmm. So we're in uncharted territory. I think there can be more. There can always be more pain, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to, but in general, crypto itself is not going anywhere. It's not a meme. It's got real world utility. I think, if you look at the governments around the world, they're looking at CBDCs, central bank digital coins. So even governments of the world are like, hey, this technology actually has real use. Like, we want to get in on it too. So I think regulation's coming, and I'm not against all regulation. I think that we need to have some. I think a compromise is okay, because some regulations there to protect the consumers themselves. So I'm okay with that.
Did you read the Cynthia Lummis's, amongst others, new bill that they proposed? I think yesterday? What is today? Is today Tuesday?
Yeah. I have not. I've been doing not stuff, but I saw that. Yeah, there should be some bill that's coming out.
I think it's today. They're presenting it today. Actually, it's okay. It's their regulation or definition bill that they are throwing out there right now. I actually was able to look at and shouts out. I always shout out other people. I don't really care. It's not about me. It's about everybody getting information. So like, there was many of them, but Altcoin Daily, I don't know if anybody watches them. They actually had a video the other day where they linked, or you could pick up breadcrumbs and follow and find the old version of the bill. Admittingly, even myself was only able to read just a little bit of it. And it was dated back in March, the one that I read. But again, I have to echo what a lot of other people said. It was more geared towards defining things in that format of the bill that I read, which I'm assuming is probably already been revised. It did obviously look kind of worse for altcoins and heavily bullish more for Bitcoin. But yeah, it's not bad. I think we definitely, that bill is not, and I can't tell you guys for certain because I only read so much of it. From what I read of it, it's not, a nail in our coffin. It's not anything that I think a lot of people are over exaggerating the whole situation. I think it was more for definitions, obviously, in like CBDCs, Bitcoin, Ethereum and whatnot. And like people have been out there saying, oh, all altcoins are going to be considered securities. I think I've said this the other day. I think the Cosmos ecosystem is in a very unique place. But I wanted to hear your thoughts again. I'm sorry for cutting you off. More about the crypto ecosystem, and then again, I'll kind of on the back end after you tell me what you think about Cosmos. I'll kind of give you my thoughts about it as well. Sorry about that. I don't mean to cut into it.
Oh, it's great. I love you keeping everybody updated on what's happening. But yeah, as far as cryptocurrency, we have rough water still. But like anything, we're gonna get through it, and there was gonna be better days. So I would say, as far as crypto in general, you need to have thick skin. As far as Cosmos, I feel very confident and good about it. Cosmos has the IBC protocol, and that each chain is sovereign upon itself and yet connected. That's just amazing technology. And then on top of that, Cosmos in quarter 3 and quarter 4 are going to be introducing interchain security. So if you don't want to run your own security, a chain can use atoms off the Cosmo Hub as its own security protocol to protect new chains coming in, because running your own security can be expensive. There could be a lot of coding hindrances. It can be very difficult, right? So if a chain can just focus on tokenomics and different utilities and not have to worry about security, that's a huge win. And it's a huge win for Cosmos too, because the people holding Atom will have that utility in itself. So in general, cryptocurrency, it's tough. Hang tough, have thick skin. Cosmos, I'm very bullish on it. I love Cosmos. I continue to invest in it. I have not sold off anything. I continue to build. And like I say, I'm a big believer in Cosmos and Juno. My two biggest bags, disclosure, are Atom and Juno. I think they're just two incredible
Oh, I think
tokens.
you can't go wrong with him, especially what we have going on with Atom, like you said here shortly, with shared security, giving a lot of functionality and a lot of use case to the Atom token, and bringing a lot of value for the Atom token. Here shortly, and then also I'm so bullish. Like I know we talked a lot about Juno earlier, but we say it all the time here. And some people like to say and send me messages that, I'm over exaggerating the potential that permissionless smart contract has in the crypto space. But when you really do your homework and look around and compare, apples to apples, or consider them whatever, if they're Fiji apple or Gal apple, whatever it is, they're still apples. When you talk about smart contract plays that are permissionless in every sense of the word, there is only two different ones, or two of them right now. There might be one, and if there is one, please let me know, because I would love to be enlightened. But as far as permissionless smart contract goes, the only other one that compares is Ethereum. And look what Ethereum is right now. And Ethereum's not even the reason why I said a real true comparison, apple to apple. They are still apples, but they're a different breed, because the difference is the token structure, the way that it was presented in its origin story, guys. You guys got to know, as investors, the one thing that really, really hurts the small guys is when there's angel investors, startup VC funds helping that project grow in its earlier days, which there were earlier allocations, there were VC funds, there were people that were able to front run and get allocations for basically pennies on the dollar with Ethereum. There's entities out there that hold a centralized amount of Ethereum. I don't care what if you guys do your homework out there and follow the paper trail and follow the transactions, which you should be doing in blockchain, there is a humongous entity that holds the vast majority of Ethereum. There's a bunch of nodes, yeah, especially with proof of stake, but there is a bunch of humongous entity that holds the vast majority and controls the vast majority of those nodes and Ethereum. Juno, being a smart contract permissionless play within the Cosmos ecosystem. And even though we went through what we went through with CCN, guys, it's kind of taken care of. It's still there, but it's kind of, it is what it is the only thing that compares to the potential of a permissionless smart contract. Everything else out there, as far as a smart contract play, is permissioned. Even like, I'm not short selling Osmo, it's permissioned. Go out, look at AVAX, permissioned. Look at Solana, permissioned. Look at ADA, permissioned. You need to get permission before you launch something. Here, I could go spin up something real quick using Juno tools, DAO up, all of these other things, and just be on my way. I don't need anybody's permission at all. And that is what, in my humble opinion, I know I'm kind of ranting here. My humble opinion, guys, is really, really what brought a lot of value to Juno, is the fact that you got everything in the world being written on Juno. A lot of it was bad. We get meme coins all over the place with with Ethereum. Sure. But that's also what gave it its huge TVL. Anybody can come in there and start building stuff. So again, I'm kind of ranting right now, and I do agree with you, Jerry. I think you need to have a lot of patience. You need to be looking at and doing your homework about some of these protocols. One of the things I want to kind of bring to your attention and see if you agree with me about this. On my channel, I like to congratulate everybody that's in the in the Cosmos ecosystem as much as I can, because I think that you guys, not to say other people are dumb or less than us here as cosmonauts, but you guys are a step above as far as investing into an ecosystem that sets itself apart from the rest of the crypto industry because of the way that the Cosmos ecosystem is structured. In a sense, we always talk about airdrops, right, Jerry? The vast majority of projects that are born or launched in the Cosmos are funded or given to the people via airdrop, correct?
Correct. I love those airdrops.
One of the biggest things that we are fighting in the crypto industry right now is this narrative to call everything a security. Now, of course, the government might change things to they do it all the time. They bend the rules to fit their narrative and stuff like that. So I can't say this with 100% certainty, but I can say the thing that I find really, really interesting, and the reason why I, amongst many other things, really wanted to invest heavily in the Cosmos ecosystem is because, guys, and when I say this, I'm not trying to flex right here. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that I have invested in myself in various different parts of the Cosmos ecosystem. I'm probably irresponsibly long in the Cosmos ecosystem, but the reason why I did that is because of the way that the Cosmos ecosystem is structured. If the governments want to attack or come after altcoins or DAOs or entities that are, deployed in the Cosmos ecosystem, good luck trying to call them a security, because some of them were, but the vast majority there was no private sale. There was no early allocation. There was no promises or handshakes being made. And now, especially with Juno and DAOs being what they are, like, good luck trying to put that label on anything happening in the Cosmos for the vast majority. There are some that definitely had early seed investors, early allocations and promises or vesting schedules. But that's really one of the biggest reasons why I find a lot of value in the Cosmos ecosystem is by the way that projects are born and shared to the people. It doesn't happen like other ecosystem. And obviously I can go back to like Ethereum being the biggest example. Ethereum, when tokens launch, you see it all the time. What do you have to do? You have to get into whitelists or you have to be one of the few picked or chosen qualified investors to buy early allocations of the token. That's a no-no, guys. That's a no-no. You don't want to do that. But yeah, so again, I just kind of want to give you guys my thoughts about why I'm so probably over bullish on the Cosmos ecosystem, and see what you think about that, Jerry. Have you ever thought about the Cosmos ecosystem in that terms?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Tank. And I love you talking about venture capitalists. I'll tell you, if anything's going to be attacked from the government and regulations, it's going to be venture capitalists that go into these coins and pump them up, and then take their profits and dump them on the masses that come in. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, you have that in a lot of crypto coins. And again, that's why we love Juno in itself, because it's venture capitalist free. There was no big money coming in. This was grassroots building up from the ground. And that's the way to go. That's not a security. That's just people working together to build a cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. We don't have to worry about any big venture capitalists saying, well, you got to pay me first because I paid for your coding, mm-hmm. And that happens. Because
it happens all the time. Yeah.
As far as Juno went, the people that made Juno, they worked for free for about 2 years before they even launched it. So these were guys that were building the chain, working for free. They decided to do it that way instead of taking $1 million from a venture capitalist and then having to pay him first. You don't want to be indebted to anybody with cryptocurrencies, because you're right, that's when it becomes wishy-washy and looks more like a security. So
you don't want that gray. You want to be black and white as much as you can, at least.
Yes, absolutely. And like you say, when I look to invest, I look to invest in things that are free of venture capitalists, because I just want to know that it's just me and my peers investing into something that we believe in, not a group of people, not rich guys coming in propping it up and then looking to, take their wealth and dump it on us after
Mm-hmm.
they get paid.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry, I've absolutely loved having this conversation with you. I personally, I'm going to drop a little bit of alpha and just another hint, maybe. Well, I'll drop a hint, guys. I am working on with a few members of my inner circle, a project that I think it's not entirely brand new. It's taking the best of some of the better projects or best projects that are out there right now in NFTs and in DAOs. And I am trying to bring, if I can smooth out the details, this project for the people, because I'm building something for the people to light here shortly. So I'm going to be reaching out to you and your team, Jerry, to see if I can get insight or help, or even maybe I'll just spitball and bounce the idea off, and you can tell me in private what you think about it. I'm really excited about it. I want to bring a lot more benefit to the people of the Cosmos and to the IBC in general. So be on the lookout for that, guys. If you guys haven't already, definitely here. Let me go ahead and go back to the links here. Follow NOTs, guys. Follow their validator. Follow their Twitter handle here. This is their project, their NOTs art Twitter handle. Excuse me. Or did I? No, that's the. Excuse me, that is their validator. This is their Twitter handle for their NFTs. Follow both of them in any case. Do yourself a favor, do everybody else a favor as well. Share it if you want. I'm going to be putting out rules on how you guys are going to be able to win these NFTs that I just minted today. You guys already heard Jerry earlier telling you guys that if you guys just hold these NFTs in your wallet and take some of your stars, and let me see here, stake some with Rhino. You don't have to do anything, but you're going to be rewarded for doing that. Rhino, you guys do your own homework as well. From what I've seen briefly, looks like a pretty good validator on the stars, and looks like a pretty good validator across the Cosmos ecosystem. But on the stars, they're the top 10. They're number 10 right now, guys. And their uptime is up. They look pretty good to me. So be rewarded for sharing the love, and you guys could, make something long-term. But Jerry, I really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully everybody found benefit from listening to us rant a little bit. And I look forward to talking to you about my private endeavor here shortly.
Yes, Tank. We look forward to it. I know you care about the community, so we're happy to work with you, help you get your NFTs launched, and we'll have to do a collaboration where we can do some giveaways and help spread the word so you can get your feet wet in the NFT community. It's a lot of work. I'll warn you with that, but I think you're up for it. And I know that you love Cosmos and the supporters of Cosmos, so I know you'll be successful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, with that, guys, we're going to get out of here. You guys have a blessed day. Don't worry about the fear, guys. Don't worry about the fear. Just be patient.